What's up, everyone? Just Jason here. This week we're making chaffle poutine. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is some gravy. This is just a basic bone broth gravy. I like to use this glucomannan powder to thicken my gravy. Like I said, this is going to be really basic. Just some bone broth, the thickener, and then some salt and pepper, and then we're going to use some butter in it a bit later. As you can see, we're not using very much of this powder to begin with. You don't want to put too much in it or it'll get really pasty. So that's even less than 1/8 of a teaspoon. So we're going to sprinkle that in and give it a good mix in there. Now, like any thickener, it'll have to come to a boil before it starts to actually work. So give it some time. I actually wound up putting about twice as much of the powder in there to get it thickened up. So we're going to add some butter there, because everything's better with butter, obviously. So now for our chaffles, this is a basic recipe doubled. So twice the amount of cheese and 2 eggs. And then we've got some Parmesan cheese here to make the chaffles extra crispy. So here's our mix all ready to go. Like I say, this is a doubled batch, so it's going to make 4 chaffles. So we'll get the dash minis all warmed up here, and to make them crispy, we're going to put down some of this shredded Parmesan cheese on the bottom first. And like I say, this will give it a nice crispy crust on the outside of the chaffles. So then we're going to let that start melting, and we're going to add our chaffle mix into the dash minis. Usually 2.5 teaspoons full is enough to make a full chaffle. And then we're going to add some more of this Parmesan cheese on top so that both sides are nice and crispy. So we'll close up the dash minis, and 4 to 5 minutes later, we'll have some nice crispy chaffles. Just like this. So yeah, these turned out nice and crispy. So we'll get these first 2 out of the waffle irons, put them aside on a wire rack so they don't get soggy. We're not going to let them completely cool like we usually do. So we'll get these next 2 going right away so that we can keep them nice and warm when we put together the poutine. So here's our waffle or chaffle mix in again, and then we're going to finish off with adding some more of this Parmesan on top. A little bit more on this one. We'll close up the dash minis, and we'll get 2 more nice crispy chaffles. So again, you could make more if you want a bigger serving of poutine, but this was just for myself. So like you can see, I just decided to chop them up into quarters to make them look a little bit more like French fries. And now we're going to add some white cheese curds. This is a local company that I get my cheese curds from, so they're really good quality. So we're just going to dump those all over top of it. You could put some in the middle under the warm chaffles to help them start melting, but I just put them on top. So get those all on there. You could add more or less, depends on how many cheese curds you like on your poutine, obviously. So that's the cheese curds, and this is what it looks like with the gravy on top. You can see it's nice and warm. The cheese curds will start to melt after a little while, but I couldn't wait for that to happen. So let's dig in, give it a try. It certainly looks good, that's for sure. It smells good, and excited to try this. Yeah, really good. Highly recommend. Give it a try. Keep on thriving, my friends.